Hi, sweetie. How are you doing today? Yeah, you're okay. Did you manage to just escape the bad weather? Yeah, you got in just in time. Good, because we're having a bit of a downpour right now, aren't we? Yeah, all right. Well, we're nice and warm and dry inside, okay? And I know this is your second time here today, so thank you so much for coming back. Of course, we all appreciate it. It's really good, like I said last time, to have live models in instead of mannequins, so I do appreciate your time, okay? Was there anything about the last experience that you weren't so keen on? Was there anything that you would like me to alter this time, or was everything okay? Yeah, it was okay and you enjoyed it. Yeah, okay, good. And in terms of the result, were you fully satisfied? Yeah, good. Your hair does look really beautiful. Yeah, I can remember we put quite a few highlights in, didn't we? Yeah, it looks really beautiful. Okay. And today you're here for your eyelashes and your eyebrows. Yeah, okay. Have you had your eyelashes or your eyebrows tinted or waxed or anything done professionally in regards to them before? You haven't. Okay, well that's absolutely fine. So I will explain the process to you and of course also our students. And I find it's a really informative process for us all then. Okay, all right. Now before I start, is there anything that I can get you? Can I get you a drink, a snack, a magazine? No, you're sure? Okay. So let me just prep you for a student then. So I will just push your hair back a little bit if that's okay. I do have a headband, and then I will just apply some petroleum jelly just around the area as well. I do find that just makes it a little bit easier for a student when she comes in. Okay. It is. So it is the same student as last time, Erica. Yeah. There you go. Just push that back. So she is doing her training as a beauty therapist, and she's also training as a hairstylist and a hair colorist as well. Yeah. She is really nice. She's really fun to work with as well, and there's just so much potential there, which I love to see in our students. I'm just going to take this off and reapply it because I just want to make sure we're getting everything. There we go. A little bit of hair there. Let me see. Just going to, yeah. Let me just clip your bangs back because I don't want that to get in the way there. And just pop one here. All right. Does that feel okay? Everything feels like it's completely off your face? Yeah, you're sure? Okay, good. If at any point you want it readjusting, of course, just let me know and I can do it, okay? All right. Okay. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of petroleum jelly just around the area, okay? And I know from your consultation form, you've said that you don't have any allergies, any sensitivities to any products. Is that still correct? Yeah, okay. So this just makes sure that there's no staining of the skin, and it also just protects the skin from the chemicals as well, which can be a little bit irritating. Yeah, and if you just look up for me, perfect, thank you. Yeah, I'm just going to rub that in a little bit. A bit more. Okay, and if you can just close your eyes for me, thank you. just going to use something just to spread that in a little bit better, okay? And there we go. All right, okay. So, are you happy if I bring our student in now? I've prepped you. Yeah, we've got everything that we need to do before they come in. Okay. So the first stage when I bring them in will be the consultation process, okay? So I will talk you through some different designs in regards to your eyebrows and also in regards to the coloring as well of your eyelashes, okay? All right. Just rub that in a little bit more. All right, so let me go ahead and get our student, okay? All right. Okay, Erica, so yeah, you've both met before, so of course this is our lovely client from last time. Yeah, and she had the highlights and the trim. And it's still looking really beautiful. The client is really happy with the results as well, so yeah, exactly, for sure. Okay. So just to give you a little bit of a heads up, Erica, okay, I have already prepped the area. You can see there's petroleum jelly there already, and I have brushed back the hair. So we're really just ready to go in terms of consultation and then in terms of obviously the tinting and the coloring, okay? So you haven't tinted or colored before. No, and that's okay. And as I said to our lovely client today as well, I will be talking you through the process, so there's nothing to worry about. What I typically do with this stage is I will actually do one eyebrow and one eye myself, and then I will have you follow just shortly behind me, okay? That gives you the opportunity to, of course, observe me, but then also get involved in the process as well, okay? So we will start with the eyebrows first of all, and my general guide is this picture here, okay? And it does show us lots of different designs, and some of them are quite extravagant, and it's really important when we're talking to our client, of course, that we are very realistic in terms of what we can expect to get with the baseline, okay? So if the baseline is very sparse, we of course shouldn't really be recommending a very full eyebrow to our client because it's just not attainable. Yeah, and of course in terms of a client-practitioner relationship as well, we really want to make sure there's a good relationship there, which is built on trust and also honesty, so we don't want to be telling them something that is, as I said, not achievable. Okay, so what I like to do when I'm doing this, Erica, is I will look at the photos as well as the client. So I will never just be looking at this. You want to really be taking in both, okay? So what I tend to do, and if you just come a little bit closer so you can do this also. So I will tend to hold the photo just probably around there, or even, yeah, maybe just slightly above. And I will just see probably see where they are at the moment, okay? Because I think that's really important, as I said, in terms of achieving a realistic result. So let's have a look. Let me just get my light and we can both look together. So this is going to be a little bit bright, okay? So you can close your eyes if you want to, but it just allows us to look a little bit better at the shape actually. Okay. So we can see here, just there is a little bit of a natural arch, okay? So, so I'd be saying we're probably baseline-wise, probably around here in terms of arches, okay? So you do have quite a strong arch to begin with. Yeah, you've always had a very high arch, okay? And you can also see, Erica, if you look just around there, so just that bit there, you can see there is a little bit of asymmetry when you compare the two eyebrows. You can see that that's a little bit higher than that side. Can you see that from where you are? Yeah, you sure? Okay. Now, of course, when we're doing our training, we know that eyebrows, we always hear this phrase, they're not supposed to be twins, they're supposed to be sisters, okay? So they don't have to look identical by any means, but we do want to make them look, I'd probably say, a little bit more symmetrical than they are at present, because I do think here we could raise this a little bit more, and I think it would open up the eye a little bit. Okay, so that would be my initial kind of observation from looking at the eyebrows, okay? For sure. So a lot of people will have one eyebrow slightly higher than the other one. It can be muscle related, yeah. So if they're used to raising this eyebrow, for sure you can slightly see, yeah, a little bit more of a raised effect there. But it's really easy to correct if it's something that they wanted to. Wanting a little bit more of a symmetrical look, then it's of course something we can achieve. Okay, we can raise this one a little bit more as well. Okay. Now, what I also like to do is then ask the client what styles of eyebrows they're liking, okay? Now, there is a trend at the moment to have a little bit more of a blunt, stark eyebrow look, okay? And of course, there's a few on here, so they can choose that if they wish. I do find a lot of clients, even though there is a trend toward that, they are coming in and asking actually for more natural eyebrows, okay? So we don't just necessarily want to go with a trend, but it's of course up to our clients. So is there anything on there that stands out to you? Yeah. Okay, so something where there's a little bit of a natural look at the beginning. Yeah, and then, okay, so a little bit thicker of an arch, okay? So you're liking these two? Yeah, okay. So we would definitely, I would just show Erica as well so you can see. So that client has obviously mentioned that this is something that she's really wanting to achieve. So it's just the front section. Can you see where the first hair growth is? We need to make sure we accentuate that then, okay? Yeah, all right. Now, is there anything on there that you're really going against? So you're looking at and you're thinking, I definitely don't want that, because that also really helps us in this process as well. Yeah, maybe this is a little bit too thick for you. Okay, for sure. And maybe that's a little bit too thin. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, there isn't as much of an arch on the thicker one. Okay, yeah, for sure. So you're liking the arched look as well. Okay, yeah. So what the client has chosen, you can see, is completely achievable. Yeah, so beautiful eyebrows to begin with, lots to work with. If the client didn't have as much hair, we'd obviously have to be gearing the client towards something a little bit less. Yeah, a little bit less full, okay? But we can definitely do that, okay? Now, if you wanted to, Erica, as well, what you could also do is take some before photographs, okay? That just helps our clients sometimes as well actually look at the eyebrows from a different angle, and he or she can actually see against this photo as well. So we can literally get the phone and we can pop it next to that one. So that is a really good idea as well. I'm just gonna rub that in a little bit of petroleum jelly there. Okay. Yeah, so you're happy with that. Yeah, and you can see this is achievable for our client from where she is and where she wants to go. Yeah, okay. All right. So what I like to do now, Erica, is actually measure the eyebrow arch, okay? I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, so I do like to actually measure it, but it's by no means essential that you do this, but I sometimes feel like it's a really good habit to get into, okay? So what we want to do, so if you lovely can just close your eyes for me for one moment, thank you. And then you can see the arch there. So that's about probably about 0.5, I would say, if you just come in a little bit closer. So how I would measure is I just hold very bottom and then just go right to the arch there and just smooth any eyebrow hair down, okay? And then just measure like that. And then exactly the same other eye. And there. Okay. And then what I also like to do is just measure the distance between the eyebrows as well. So that's about 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Let's do this as well. Yeah. And yeah. And then we go a little bit diagonal. Yeah, so I would typically start measuring where the pupil is and just go across that way, because that just gives us an indication of the arch as well, as you know. Okay. Yeah, and there we go. And you can, of course, just measure the very top as well. Yeah, so about 4, and that's about 3.8. So we're very close to begin with anyway, aren't we? You can see. Yeah. Okay. Now, are you happy with that, or did you want to practice the measurement process? No, you're sure? Okay, just let me know if you do, because of course I want this to be a good learning experience for you, okay? So I don't want to take the lead too much, okay? All right. Okay, fabulous. So now what I would do is spray just a little bit of water. We can see that the eyebrows, the hair is a little bit ruly, so we do want to just make sure that's nice and flattened before we start, okay? So I will just spray a little bit of this. That will cover your eyes, okay? Okay. And exactly the same with this one, so obviously cover your client's eyes. And just to make sure you don't get any in. Okay. And then what I like to do is just make sure that with my hands I'm actually massaging that in, okay? Because you want to make sure that everything's really flat for when we are shaping and tinting. Okay. All right, let's have a look. Okay. All right, Erica, so can you remember what we're doing first? Are we tinting and coloring, or are we shaping? Yeah, for sure we're coloring, okay. Can you remember why we're doing that? Yeah, exactly, yeah. So you want to really reduce the sensitivity. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So in terms of the color, again, this is something you do need to work through with the client. However, as a general rule, what I typically do is look at the hair color, I look at the skin tone, and I also look at the existing eyebrow color as is, okay? So we can see that the eyebrows are relatively dark to start with, okay? And we can see the client's hair is a little bit lighter towards the ends, but we can see that the natural hair is quite dark, okay? So we really want to stay in that color palette, okay? Now, There are a lot of darker colors, so it's not just a case of choosing a black or a brown. We need to also identify whether we're going warm or whether we're going ashy or whether we're staying really neutral and medium. Okay, so a really good way of demonstrating this to our client is you can just use a general hair booklet and you can show them the differences in browns, okay? And this is really important, particularly if there's a lot of warmth in the natural hair, okay? Here, so you can see that this is brown, but this is also brown, and you can see there's just so much more warmth to this color than there is to that. Yeah, so your natural color in Erica, you can see, yeah, so your natural eyebrow color is a little bit warmer. So what I would suggest we do is we do enhance that. We try and really stick with a warmer brown, okay? Now, I will just show you, Erica, what you can do is if you wanted to give our client a little bit more of a richer look, if that's something that she wanted, then you could mix a little bit of that in as well. And it would just make the eyebrows pop a little bit more, okay? But of course, you would ask the client and just make sure we're all on the same page. Yeah. So you were wanting to try and stay quite natural and not really have as much warmth. Okay. Yeah, for sure. So what we could do then is just add a little bit of ash in. Yeah. I would suggest we keep with warmth as a base because your natural complexion would really, yeah, would work well with a warmer color. But as I said, we can add a little bit of ash in just to make sure it's not as out there and as bright. Yeah, for sure. Exactly. So sometimes, like our client mentioned, the color can pull a little bit warmer over time anyway. So in order to counteract that, if that's not desirable for our client, then we can add a little bit of ash in for sure. Okay. All right. So what you can also do as well is you could actually hold the swatch up to the eyebrow like that, and it gives you a really good indication of whether it's a similar shade to what is currently there. You can see. Okay, so let's pop that down and let's go ahead and mix our colors. Have you mixed colors before? Yeah, you have. Okay, so what we really want to do is it's a ratio of 2 to 1. Yeah, so let me go ahead and do that then if you've already done that before. All right, so I will apply the color to this one, and then if you follow just a little bit after me so you can see the technique I'm using, okay? No, you're okay as you are. Don't worry, you don't need to move at all. And you really want to make sure you're saturating this color on, okay? So what I do is I use this, so I'll spread it across, but then I also use my fingers to blend as well, okay? So spread and blend, spread and blend, okay? So do you want to start? Are you comfortable to start on the other one? Yeah, you're sure? Okay. Let me pass you some color there, sweetie. There you go. Okay. And do that. Yeah, so you can. I probably would suggest just using more of a sweeping motion. Yeah, gotcha. There you are. Exactly. It's just a little bit better at distributing the color if you're doing that. Okay. Yeah, so of course you can. So I like to just go a little bit across like that as well, but your technique is beautiful, so don't worry too much, but just kind of sweep, yeah, rather than do that. That's okay. All right. Okay. All right, so we will let that color sit. I'm just going to just double check that everything has got on there. Yeah, if you're not so sure, what you can just do is spread with your fingers like that. It's okay. All right, and how is the color feeling for you? It's not stinging, burning, there's no irritation? No? Okay, good. I always like to just double check with our clients just to make sure. Okay, so we will leave that on for a few minutes. Okay, something that I really like to do as part of the kind of relaxation process is whilst the color is sitting on the skin or on the hair, I do like to do a little bit of an arm and hand massage, okay? Obviously it's totally optional, but I do find it just relaxes our client a little bit, and it's just a little bit of a nice treat, because sometimes just having your eyebrows done or your eyelashes isn't really a super relaxing process, so I do like to just add this in just to make it a little bit more fun for them, okay? And are you happy with that? Yeah, you're more than happy. Good, okay. All right, sweetie, so what we can do, because obviously there's two of us here, is if you hold both of your arms out, you can support them a little bit on this chair if you want. Yeah, so just rest them there, and I will take one arm and Erica will take another, okay? And there's no sensitivities to any massage oils? No, okay, good. So I will use a massage oil with a little bit of geranium in, and also some lavender, okay? Yeah, just go ahead and get some there, sweetie, that's okay. Yeah, there you go. All right. And there's no particular technique for this, really. I do just like to make sure that you're working the whole arm, and just lift the arm, and of course support when you're doing that. But as I said, there isn't really a technique to this. And you can, of course, work around the shoulders as well. Just helps loosen up any tightness, which is really nice. And just hold your arm up for me. Thank you. And when you're massaging the hands, what I like to do is just gently pull the fingers. I feel like that's a really relaxing technique. And just gently stretch the palm a little bit as well, and you can kind of work in the middle of the palm there. And just lift you up. And there we go. Okay. There we go. How does that feel? Yeah, good, good. Yeah, I do like to just do this, like I said, as an extra stage. I just feel like it's really nice to just have a little bit of relaxation and just work on the shoulders as well, as something that I really like to have done when I go for a massage. Okay, all right. So then, of course, we would need to change our gloves, okay? And then we will remove the color. Okay, so now we've changed our gloves. What we want to do is remove the color, okay? And what I like to do is have a spray water, and I will just spray it on the pad and then gently remove, okay? So I will just show you how I remove, because I do like to make sure I'm using a kind of blotting technique rather than a sweeping one, like that. Okay. Now I will give you one of those, so I'll just spray some water on it. And then I will give you some to remove that eyebrow, okay? And then I will continue on this one. Yeah, perfect. Just a blotting technique, I think, is the best way to remove it. Yeah, perfect. Okay. You can, if you wanted to, as well as actually apply the spray directly to the eyebrows. So I will just show you. Just cover your eyes, sweetie. And you just do that. And then actually blot. Yeah, do you want me to spray a little bit on yours? Yeah, okay, for sure. Just cover your eyes. I think it just helps it a little bit more. Okay. All right. And there we go. And just to blot dry also as well. And you see how well the color is taken. Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? So you can see with the color we chose, there still is a little bit of warmth, but there's not too much warmth. Okay, so it still really works well with our client's hair and complexion. Exactly, but there just isn't that kind of orange tone which you sometimes can get. Okay. Now, let me just take a look, make sure that's all taken off. Yeah, you did a perfect job there. Well done. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So in regards to shaping, now we do have stencils that you can use. I don't necessarily use stencils as often as I think some people do. I do prefer to just work with what I can see in front of me rather than put an actual stencil on the eyebrow, okay? But it's completely up to you when you're qualified, of course, what you want to do in your own practice, okay? But for me, I just do like to work with what I can see rather than apply an actual template on it, okay? All right, so I will show you my technique. What I do is get a little bit of a spoolie, so something like this, okay? And I just use this to kind of almost prop the eyebrow up. I will show you, okay? And then this, of course, is my my shaping tool, okay? So I'm just going to do that, and then I kind of just shape like that. And this client, of course, has a beautiful amount of hair to work with, so I am going a little bit faster than I perhaps would, but that's just because there is quite a lot of hair there to remove, okay? And do it that angle as well, and then just prop and just gently go like that, okay? Now the focus is really in the middle because, as we said, we really want that arch, okay? So if you just come to this angle, can you see how the arch, yeah, it's starting to take shape, okay? Something I really like to do as well is I will shape, I will stand back, take a look, go forward, stand back. So keep on looking at the eyebrow from different angles, okay? It's really important not to just stay close to the eyebrow. You really want, you really want to make sure you're looking at the brow from different angles, okay? And then I am just going to go a little bit in the middle. There we go. Okay. Now, do you feel comfortable trying the other eyebrow? Yeah, for sure. So let me get you another tool. So there you go, and I will continue to use mine, okay? And do you want a little bit of a spoolie, like I said, just to prop the eyebrow up? Yeah, okay, for sure. Got you one as well. There you go. So what you could actually do, I mean, this one, as we said, the arch isn't quite as strong, so you maybe don't need to prop it quite as high, so I would probably do something more like that, and then I'll just start you off kind of like that, and just gently go like that. Okay, do you want to take over? Yeah, perfect. Okay, and I will just continue on this one. In the top as well, of course. Okay. Now I may just use a little bit of a wax strip on the very end, just because there is quite a bit of hair you can see here. Particularly now we've colored it, you can really see it's come out, can't you? So I'm just going to use a little bit of a wax strip on there, okay? Are you okay with me doing that? Yeah, you're sure? Okay, they're really pain-free. These ones are not uncomfortable at all, okay? I know some wax strips, particularly on the eyebrow area, can really hurt, but these ones are quite okay. All right, so does that feel okay? Yeah, you're sure. Just let me know if it does, and then I can stop, okay? Just getting it. And there we go. And there we are. Okay. Yeah, you're doing such a wonderful job there. Absolutely. Do you want me to just do the ends on that one as well, just to help you out a little bit, of course? Let me just get around you there, sweetie. And as I said, this really isn't necessary if you don't want to, but I just find it helps to get rid of those loose hairs at the end there. Okay. All right. And like I said, yeah, perfect. Constantly step back and move in just so you can see the brow from different angles. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. Absolutely. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, for sure. You can see that they're a little bit more symmetrical now. Absolutely. Yeah. And just spread them both out a little bit there. And you can see at the front, we still have those little pieces of hair that our client wanted. Yeah, they just make everything look a little bit more natural, don't they? Okay. All right. Let me just use a little bit of setting cream just to really mold those in. So you probably only need around that much, okay? And you want to just work it in your hands like this, and then just spread across both brows like that. It smells really nice, doesn't it? I think it's rose that gives it its really nice scent. Okay. Right. So now what we want to do is focus on tinting the eyelashes, okay? In regards to eyelashes, what I typically do is use a very similar color to the eyebrows. I do like to see a little bit of uniformity when we're doing eyelashes and eyebrows, okay? So I will just use some eye pads to start with. Now, whilst I'm applying these, do you want to go ahead, and are you comfortable going ahead and mixing the color up? Yeah, you're sure? Yeah, absolutely. So just ask me any questions if you do have any, but yeah, I'm right here, so don't worry. I'm gonna pop these eye pads on, okay? So just look up for me. Thank you. And another one for the other side. And just look up again for me. Thank you. There we go. Perfect. Okay. And then with applying the color, yeah, that's perfect. I can tell that there's enough warmth in there. You could just add a little bit more of the solution, I think, maybe just to get it a little bit. Yeah. There we go. Okay. And with this, I just really apply it as though I was applying mascara, okay? There's no specific technique, but if you wanted to, you could just kind of stroke along like that. Yeah. And then go in for a little bit more color. Just flatten that down a little bit. Like that. And again, you can just use your hand just to gently, of course, be very gentle with the eyes, but you can just gently move it in like that. Okay. Yeah, of course you can. Yeah, you try the other eye, sweetie. And I will just continue with this one. And then just rub it in. Okay. Yeah, perfect. I can see that's coming on really well. And like I said, just gently kind of massage the color in like that. Yeah, okay. All right. And then what I tend to do is just put some pads over the eyes for our client. It just helps feel less awkward for our client, okay? So you just got 2 pads out here, and you would just close the eyes like that. So kind of, you can shape them a little bit if you want. And then sometimes what I do as well is I will apply a little bit of tape over the pads if that's what the client wants, because it can just make things feel a little bit more secure. There are some people, they can blink quite a lot, okay? So you can put a little bit of tape over. Of course, make sure you've A-okayed that with the client first though, okay? All right, so we will go ahead and let that sit for about 15 minutes, okay? And then we will come back and then we will remove it, okay? What I typically like to do with any coloring is always make sure I'm somewhere within the room, so I don't necessarily need to be here looking at the client, but just making sure that I'm just pottering around within the vicinity. Yeah, okay? I never like to really leave the room with any client really, but particularly if it's their first time and it's their first time having color on. Yeah, okay. Just make sure everything's secure there. All right, sweetie. So as I said, we are going to be in this room, okay? We're just going to be clearing some things away. If you do have any issues, any problems, or any questions, just let us know, okay? Does everything feel okay there on your eyelashes? Yeah, it feels okay. All right, good, sweetie. Okay. All right, Erica. So what we can start to do is clean away our trays first of all, okay?